Hey y'all, today we're going to make some air fryer roasted chicken. So what I had is just a pack of it said whole cut up chicken, but there wasn't no chicken breast in there. I had 4 legs, 4 thighs, and 4 wings. So that's what I'm going with. I have done this before where you just like buy a whole chicken and you just cut it up and just use whatever pieces and parts you want to. But this is what they gave me in my grocery pickup, so that's what I'm going to have to use. So what I did, and y'all already know, I washed my chicken. Now, I know, again, this is a hot debate whether you wash your chicken or not, but I can't do it, y'all. I just can't take meat of any kind straight out of a package and then cook it and eat it. I just can't do it. I got a mental block, y'all. I can't do it. Excuse me. So I washed my chicken up. And then you're going to want to pat your chicken dry, because if you don't pat it dry, then your oil and your seasonings are just going to run off of it. So if you don't wash your chicken and you take it straight out of the package, I guess you probably don't need to worry about drying it, because it'll just be, right out of the package. But if you wash it like I do, just go ahead and, pat it dry before you start doing everything. And I don't like that little funky part of the wing, so I just got my little kitchen shears there, y'all, and I'm just cutting I'm cutting the toe off, or it ain't the toe, but y'all know, the little wing tip. I cut that off, because, you don't eat that anyway, right? So I just snipped them off, and don't worry, the magic of YouTube, I am washing my hands in between touching all this stuff. So don't worry that I'm contaminating everything in my house with raw chicken. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and pour a little bit of olive oil. And this is probably about 1/4 cup. And that's just what I start with. And it actually ended up being the perfect amount. But you don't want to just use this right out of your oil, brush it right out of your little container of oil, because then you're going to be touching raw chicken and putting it back in your oil. You know what I'm saying? So just put a little bit in a bowl, because you don't want to waste. Start out with a little bit, and then if you need to add a little more, add a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and brush this chicken really, really good with the olive oil. And this is going to help, number one, the seasoning stick to it, and then it's also going to help it get that pretty brown color when we put it in our air fryer. So just go ahead. Like I said, you're going to want to coat this real, you don't have to pour a ton of oil on it where it's just running off. And that's why I'm brushing it on there. I just want to make sure that all the little surface is covered. And then I am using this Kinder's Fajita Blend seasoning. This stuff is so good. And I know fajita, you wouldn't think you'd put this on some roasted chicken. But honey, it is some kind of good. But you don't have to use this. You can use whatever kind of seasonings you like on your chicken. If you just want, garlic, onion, salt, pepper, paprika, that's perfectly fine. If you want to do, any other kind of flavor, I know Kinder's makes a poultry, like a poultry blend. And my son-in-law was like, why didn't you use the poultry blend? Y'all didn't even think about it. I have some, but I didn't think about it. So I'm just coating this, pretty good with this seasoning, because you want your chicken to taste good, right? So I just kind of patted it in with my little tongs there, just so it wouldn't fall off when I flipped it. And you're going to want to do the exact same thing to the other side of your chicken, because you want to make sure that everything is good and coated. We try to put it in the air fryer a certain way, and then it's going to flip and flop and fall over. So, you want to make sure that everything's, good and covered. You want to make sure everything's good and covered with the oil, so everything browns up no matter what side of your chicken flips over. And then, of course, you don't want a really nice, seasoned, yummy side of your chicken. Then you bite into the back side and it ain't no flavor at all. So, y'all get what I'm saying. I'm rambling on tonight, but y'all get what I'm saying. So, like I said, about 1/4 cup was plenty for both sides of my chicken. So, once you get both sides oiled up, you're going to go ahead and make sure you season both sides really well. And this is going to go in a rotisserie basket in my air fryer. So, I'm not sure how well, you can definitely cook chicken just in your air fryer, but to get this like rotisserie, like the rotisserie kind of chicken that you get like at the Walmart and stuff, you need something that's going to spin, because you can cook a whole chicken in the air fryer. you know, I have the little things where you can cook the whole chicken, but to me, it's just easier. It takes a little bit less time to do it like this. So what you're going to want to do, spray your basket so you know nothing sticks. And then you're going to want to put your, I start out with my biggest pieces, so my chicken thighs, and I try to put them opposite each other in the basket so the basket is balanced. Does that make sense? And I try to put mine, and like I said, they're going to flop, but I try to put mine skin side down. And that way, the skin side of your chicken is going to be what gets, you know, the really golden brown, crispy, you know, all that. And like I said, I probably shouldn't have put this much chicken in my basket. I could have just done with like 2 of each little thing, because you see my legs just keep falling over there. But just do the best you can to get them put in there. And the chicken, like you put your ones on the bottom with the skin side out. And then when you put the pieces on top, you're going to want the skin side up. Does that make sense? So when your basket flips, the part that's up will be down. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. Oh, I got a little helper sneaking in there. But I went ahead and just loaded my chicken right in my basket. And then you're going to want to put this in your, you know, your air fryer. And I put mine on 400 and I cooked it for, I think I started out with 40 minutes and I ended up cooking it for about 45. You're just going to want to check the temperature and make sure that the temperature, whatever the temperature should be for each, you know, different cut of the chicken, make sure that, you know, everything's up to temp. You know what I'm saying? Don't serve nobody no raw chicken. And don't worry about my air fryer. You can see my little tray down there. I had cooked something in it earlier and I didn't wash the bottom tray yet. So, you know, y'all don't judge me for that. So, like I said, make sure that when you put your basket in, you put it in the, you know, make sure it goes into your little grooves to make sure that it's going to be able to spin. And then you just put it on your rotisserie setting, 400. And like I said, I started for 40 minutes, and make sure that your rotisserie is on and spinning, because mine has a rotisserie setting, so it automatically starts spinning. But if yours doesn't have the automatic thing, just make sure your basket is spinning, okay? And after about 45 minutes, y'all, this is what it looks like. And when I tell you, this is some juicy chicken. It is so good. The flavor's good all the way down to the bone. It tastes better to me than the rotisserie chickens you get at the Walmart or the Target. But that's just me. Maybe I'm biased. But the skin is crunchy and the meat is cooked, but it's really tender and it's juicy. So make sure if you have an air fryer with the rotisserie basket that you try this recipe, because you will not be disappointed. All right, I'm going to put y'all another video right over here, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.